Hello, folks. I am a Schaefer driver for Crete and Schaefer. Got 27 years of driving. Got a year and a half at this company. And I got to tell you, this company is very impressive. I was skeptical going in because I fear large companies. I've done a lot of things doubles, triples, 48-foot frameless dump trailers. I did pneumatic tankers for 6 years. I've done straight trucks even for a little bit. I even did 4.5 years in a yard truck. Got van experience, LTL, and flatbed in Conestoga as well. And I've been all over and in every kind of condition that you can think of. I've been to small companies, I've been to big companies. And like I said, a little skeptical at first because it is a large company, but this company is different. And I do not speak for Crete. I'm not hired to do this video. This is all me. And I want to try to get through to some of the more experienced drivers, maybe that's a little skeptical of a big company, and kind of give you a hey, I had a lot of years in, I went here, and I'm happy. They're doing a good job. So here we go. I'm not going to drag this out and explain numbers to you upside down and backwards and inwards and outwards because you already know that. Mileage rates, we're just going to get to the gravy here. The mileage rates are incredible. You can do 74 cents a mile at this company. Easy. They just added, starting June 1st or the last day of May, however you want to look at it, 3 cents a mile. Even with fuel prices being where they're at, they still had the guts to throw that out there. That's a big deal, folks. And speaking of big deals, another thing too, I did not know this. I got lucky on this. This company is debt free and privately owned. Those are two bullseye winners right there. That's a big deal for stability. A lot of companies that are on the market make decisions that are not necessarily completely focused on exactly the trucking industry. This company understands that, and they don't have that problem. They are privately owned, debt free. This is a huge company, debt free. Those are results, man. Those are big results. Like I said, you can get out 74 cents a mile here. Now, one of the ways that that happens is they have a quarterly bonus. Now, me personally, being the skeptical 27 years in the industry that I am and some of the garbage that I've heard, I typically see a lot of companies, they come up with these wonderful bonus programs that just sound great. However, the ability to meet and reach these programs, um, they put a bonus program, and sometimes it seems like their next step is to do everything they can to prevent people from hitting those bonus programs. This place does not function like this. This company sets out a format, they figure out what they're doing, they put it forth. They don't have a problem with you achieving your bonuses. They don't have a problem with you running miles. That's what they want. They negotiate their terms based upon that. And as an example, look at the results. Debt-free company. We hit on the bonus thing. Now, this is how the bonus thing works. As a Schaefer driver pulling the reefer, we're required 28,800 miles per quarter. So that's not really a big difficult thing to achieve if you get up and you run your truck. I have hit my bonus every single quarter that I've been here. I've been here in a year and a half. I don't push quite as hard as I probably could, but I keep myself going. I stay busy. I'm trying to work. I'm not out here. I can go broke at home. You know, I get in the truck so I can make money. So I keep things moving as best I can. I don't push as hard as I can all the time because I'm running for the big picture. I'm running for the years. I'm not running for the sprint race. You know all this. So the way that bonus works is if you are an OTR guy, which is typically 3 weeks out, and 3 days home. They don't nitpick your home time too, by the way. If you get home on Tuesday afternoon, you get the next 3 days off, not done by the hour from the minute you get home. They're not ridiculous with things like that, like some of these companies are, especially if you move the truck. So the way that works, you get another 4 cents per mile added to everything that you just ran for the quarter when you hit your mileage bonus. They're even generous enough to, if you're a little bit light on your bonus and you get to the last day of the quarter, when you get dispatched, those miles will count to help you achieve your bonus. I haven't been in that situation. I usually hit my bonus before we ever get into that. Or actually, I have always so far. That's how the bonus works. It's not hard to achieve. You know, these folks see that you can run the truck. You get up, you do things. It's got to be safe. It's got to be legal. Big deal. But that's not hard to do. That's going to be in any company that's worth its salt. So that's the bonus. That's yet another 4 cents a mile on. So, you know, they just added 3, and they're hiring in guys, I think, don't quote me on this exactly, because it's also going to depend on your years of experience, and it's going to depend on whether you're pulling a dry van or a reefer. The reefers, typically, you're going to get about 3 cents a mile more, because you do need to fuel, you do need to do washouts. They understand our drop and hook ratio is not quite as good as what the van guys got. However, I want to bring that up too. They told me when I started 70% for van, drop and hook, and 60% for reefers. The lowest that my drop and hook ratio has ever been per load has been 61.8%. That's great, especially for anybody who's done reefers. Everyone thinks reefers, you just sit in the dock all the time. This place has drop and hook, lots of it. Old accounts, big accounts that go way back. And these are accounts that don't fall every time the Dow Industrial does. These are standards. These are products and things that people need. They do this on the dry van side too. This company is very minded toward the kind of accounts that work in a slower economy. That is a big deal. Another thing I'm going to put out there too, they do offer employee discounts because they're a huge company. You can get a break with AT&T, Safelite, Auto Glass. There's several others. I'm not going to go down the list. You can find that out from a recruiter if you get up and make a phone call. I'm trying to make this video to the point and real and factual, non-objective as I can without clouding it up with too much information. So there you go. You come in, you run the truck, you get your bonus. Even if you don't get your bonus, we're still hearing from guys, to the guy who put me through orientation, he's still talking to guys and drivers that are coming in from other companies that are saying they're making anywhere from 5 to 16 cents a mile more coming in the front door without a bonus. And they just added another 3 cents a mile. So that being said, the annual number is the big number. That's the one that matters. 50% of the drivers here are averaging 96,000 to 100,000 a year, average. That's great. You don't touch the freight, it's great. Little discounts, things like that. I explained how the bonus works. The mileage rate is high. These are all the things you want to see in a company. These are all great things. Insurance, I've seen an insurance broker go up against my insurance. Took him 2 months, he could not beat it. We are paying roughly $568 a month for premium. I have vision, medical, so on, or vision, medical, dental, and life insurance, so on. We have the Cadillac package, and like I said, an insurance broker could not beat this. He referred to my current insurance as a diamond level tier. So benefits, incredible. And let's hit on another benefit that's real important right now, because I hear some of these big companies are getting a little stingy with their 401ks, and some have even withdrawn them. That is terrible. This place right here, they have a premium match on your 401k. They match up to 6%. The guys that have been here for a really long time, and when I say a long time, this company, shocking me to me how many drivers they have that have 30 plus years, 20 plus years. They've got a lot of guys that have really stuck in here. They do profit sharing, and they don't have to do that. These profit sharing contributions are 11 to 15 million dollars a year, depending on what the years are going back. That's huge. They don't have to do that. Insurance last summer, they gave us one entire month discount back on our insurance. Basically, our insurance was free for the month because the claims were so well and everything was so good. They didn't have to do that. Now, you tell me, how many companies would have just shoved that money in their pocket when they didn't need to? That is one of the reasons this place is debt free. The guys at the top of this company know what they're doing. They know how to do business, and they know how to treat their drivers because they understand the drivers are what makes this place go. And not just the drivers, but it's the office staff. Now, we've covered 401k, profit sharing, all that. That 401k, I want to hit on something else too that I saw on the news. 401k accounts are booming right now. 401k is a big deal. You got to take this serious. Not to mention, you're still getting a premium cents per mile. A bunch of companies out there give you a premium cents per mile, but your benefits are crap. Or a lot of companies out there will give you okay benefits, okay pay. This place it's hitting the top of the charts in every category. And I've got a year and a half here. That is all I've seen. Now, I want to get to the most important part. Oh, yeah, here's another thing, too. The turnover rate here, back to all the guys with all the big experience, all those years, that says a lot about a place right there. That says a lot about the management right there. Drivers don't put up with stuff. We all know that. We're all a little bit on the very independent side, to put it nicely, right? So the turnover rate here to the industry standard, it's only 1/3 of what the industry standard average is. That's a tremendous testimony to success right there. To get down to the last and most important part of this whole video that I want to put through, because you can find out all these numbers that I'm giving you on your own by calling a recruiter. But what I want to get to is the office staff. And I'm going to say from terminal managers to the shop people, especially dispatch, my dispatch guy, this guy works his butt off. He's doing a good job. He's trying to keep the truck moving. We're on the same page. Let's go. Let's do what we can do. Let's make this work. He gets me home on time every time. There's only one time I haven't been home on the right day, and I told him I was flexible with it. So it was really non-consequential, but I was still home at 10 o'clock the next morning. Now I go all over the country. That's pretty impressive. That says a lot for our planners. These planners, they're working their butt off. That's a big deal because all these numbers don't really mean a whole lot if you don't have the office and the management as far as dispatch. Shops, our shops are great, huge. I mean, there's no expense spared. So the point being is you can paint all these pretty numbers up all you want, but if you're not getting the miles and you're not getting a good truck, they bought 1,100 new trailers, I think, this year. No, 1,100 new trucks. I can't remember how many new trailers. They don't let their trailers get older than 5 years old in the reefer division. I can't speak for the dry van division. I've only pulled a few dry vans. But that's a big deal. Now, I'm going to hit on the last thing as the things I don't like. Our little fuel program that we do sometimes can be a little annoying. But really now it don't bother me. I'm kind of used to it. You're probably not going to like that at first because it feels like you're stopping for fuel a little too much. But that has also improved. I wish the trucks had a little bit bigger inverter, than the 1200 watts. But even that, we work around it. I eat like a king, you can see. Um, so that's all I can really come up with as a negative. The big thing is all the numbers are right, and then you've got the office staff. Somebody at the top of this company, they know who to put in the right places here, and their attitudes are good. They're friendly. They're normal. It doesn't feel like you're at a big corporation where you're just a number. Um, these are good people that are get up and they're working their butts off in the office too, and along with the drivers. And this is coming out for result, a debt-free company putting out these kind of mileage rates. Come out here, you run pretty good, you're gonna make 96 to $100,000. And if you really want to push it down to, to where you're just cutting your home time down or whatever, you can probably do much better than that. I personally like to be home. I got a big house, big yard to take care of. Okay, another thing too, they have, I think 20 different terminals. Some of these terminals are kind of small. Some of them are huge. And they all have showers, all the amenities, all the things that you need, nice driver's lounge. They have cars. You can go run to Walmart, get you something to eat, whatever you need to do. They're secure lots, very secure. And the big thing that I noticed, these places are immaculate. I mean, they're clean. The nooks and crannies of the corner, they're spotless. This company is very serious about doing a good job on every level, everywhere I look, from the office staff to the planners, to dispatch. The dispatch and the planners are just, they're really doing it. And the management above them clearly must be doing something right. I don't bump elbows with them, but clearly these guys are working hard and they're doing something right, or these other things wouldn't fall into place. They do put out a weekly video every week, and it's typically the president of Schaefer and the president of Crete, even though we're all one big happy family here. And it's a short 3-minute video, and they just do a short little recap, and it's on an app that they give you for your phone. And it's actually really nice because it shows that they're directly involved with everything that's happening right now. And it makes you feel like they are in touch with everything. And apparently they are, because we're seeing the results. And you're safe, and you move the truck, you're gonna make good money, you're gonna have incredible benefits, you're gonna have an incredible retirement program, period. And it's all gonna be immensely secure, debt-free. Debt-free, that is so big. From a big company that I worked at years ago, and also compared to some other people that I've talked at some big companies I did not work at, this place, when you hook up to a load on the eastern side of the country that goes 2,000 miles to the western side of the country, you're gonna run that load. They're not gonna break that up and drop that at every terminal along the way and chop that into 10 different loads between 10 different guys, so nobody makes any money off of it, or everybody has to play load and unload every day. Most of you who are OTR, you're OTR because you want to go and you want to run miles. So that being said, when you get a load here, you keep it. Yes, we do relay loads and we do drop them at terminals, but that's only in specific situations where there's a truck problem or something of that nature, and mostly to get people home on time and get them out. And I think that's one of the reasons they do a good job of getting you home on time, and they have no trouble getting you back out too. These guys have the freight, they have the accounts. The highest I've seen my drop and hook percentage is just up over 70%. So roughly, and I haven't calculated this number exact, I usually do these things, but it's probably pretty safe to say that my drop and hook ratio is 68 to 71%. A lot of their customers are old customers. No brokers. They do not deal with brokers here. That's another big thing. I should have put that at the beginning of the video. No brokers. These guys take care of everything on their own, which is probably a big contributor as to why they're debt free and why they're so successful and able to pay the pay package that they're paying. But like I said, keep one thing in mind, the difference is, not is it just a good pay package and a good benefit package, you have a good office staff that manages to let you run. Anybody who runs, anybody who knows about making some money as a truck driver knows that you cannot do this unless you've got some good people behind you. As far as the new drivers go, if you have a year of OTR, come here. Um, Quit wasting your time with these places that are not wanting to give you these kind of mileage rates. If you send me your name, your town, your state, and phone number, I can put those in, and for the recruiter, they will call you. If you are serious enough to actually send me that information, I will take time to talk to you on the telephone. Obviously, I can't text because I spend most of my time driving, but I will talk to you and answer some more questions if you need or have any, or you know, whatever you want to know. But I want to help some of the guys out there. You know, we live in a world that the economy is bouncing every 4 years, up and down, here and there, and things are going crazy. Stability. You want stability and you want top pay. Come somewhere where you can get it all. You know, that's all I got to say. Have a good day. Be safe.